And one of the stories, one of my favorite guys to kind of keep up with in Ninerland is Justin Mello of the Draft Network, who always seems like he has the pipeline to who the 49ers have met with, who they're hosting pre-draft visits with, I should say. According to Justin Mello of the Draft Network, the Niners plan to host UCLA offensive lineman Atonio Mafi on a pre-draft visit. And I like this player a lot. This guy, I think, could play right tackle. He's a guard at UCLA. He played 13 games as a starter last year. He played 56 games in his collegiate career, second team All Pac 12, 6'4, 355 pounds. He allowed 3 sacks, 2 hits, 13 hurries through 487 pass blocking snaps in 2022, according to Pro Football Focus. And he had an 83.2 overall grade, and that was a career high for Mafi. So he played all 910 of his total snaps at left guard this last season. He's been their left guard. He's played left guard and right guard as well in 2021. He actually played, this is the profile, though, that I love. This guy is a former defensive lineman, and I love when you can get offensive linemen who started on the defensive side of the ball. Usually they're better athletes, they're more aggressive. Better athletes typically play defense. This guy made 14 starts on the defensive line. Where do you put right tackle, right guard, or just an O-line addition? Where do you put an O-line addition on the list of needs as far as priorities? I guess the question is, how confident are you in what they currently have? How desperate are they to add a player? And is it for sure a tackle? Or could it be another spot?
I don't actually know if they're that desperate, crew, because I'm trying to rack my brain on who's gonna walk in and really just beat out Colton McKivitz, right? Because to me, if you're gonna beat out Colton McKivitz, he's got scheme familiarity, he's tough as nails, and he always does his job. So he's going to have the leg up there. So to me, you have to be more physically gifted than Colton McKivitz, because I think you and I would agree that his athleticism and movement, there's limitations to it. He's only so athletically gifted. That's why he was a 5th-round pick. Well, right now in free agency, Larry, right now in the draft, realistically, who are you getting in the draft that's just so gifted that they're going to just walk in and displace him, right? You're going to have to be looking at the first, second round of the tackles, or you're going to have to be giving tackles $17 million a year, the way the Broncos gave to Mike McGlinchey. So I would love for them to get a tackle, but again, I don't know if it's so much of a need, because they're kind of, I think, pigeonholed in this kind of level of a player. And then I think their guards are both going to be a lot better this year. Aaron Banks got so much better as the year went on. Same with Burford. I've got to imagine that an offseason is going to do them both wonders. I think Brendel is going to remain solid. He started off the season a little bit inconsistent, and then he played okay as the season went on. And then finally, Krug, the guy at left tackle, might be the best left tackle we've ever seen when it's all said and done. Like, he's the most special player ever. One of the most special players ever. I really think, Larry, that their offensive line isn't in such a bad state. Again, I think offensive line play across the NFL is terrible. The 49ers still today, with Mike McGlinchey gone, probably have a top 15 offensive line in the NFL. I'm not joking. Like, if you start stacking them up, their offensive line will be in the top 15. And so how are you necessarily going to upgrade them? There's not 32 right tackles in the NFL that are starting caliber. Are there even 20 starting caliber right tackles in the NFL, Larry?
No. I would say no.
So ultimately, I think that this is kind of the best of their situation.
A couple people saying Juice Scruggs. Right? What's that?
You love Juice Scruggs, right?
I mean, I definitely like him. I saw some of the film on him, but he's not a day 1 guy. He's not a day 2 guy. He's probably also a day 3 guy. Clarsard said Juice Scruggs. Fish and Chips says Juice Scruggs was mentioned by Justin Mello. But I like Mello because he's all over it. He also reported that the Niners met with the Utah offensive tackle Braden Daniels at the combine, and I kind of like what I've seen out of Daniels.